那进入这些学校呢，就等于一只脚已经跨入了常青藤大学。但是这些学校的入学竞争呢，非常的激烈哈。那我们今天呢，请李院长为我们讲解如何更好的做准备，才能进入理想的私立高中。So our next speaker, Mr. Bob Lee, is the founder of Summit Education and Consulting. So let's welcome Mr. Bob Lee.
Hi, my name is Bob Lee. It's nice to see you this afternoon, and I thank you for the Book Times to invite me as a speaker for the boarding school. Actually, it's I serve this consulting service past 10 years. My client is Korean, and the Korean American in the States. So actually, it's my first time to do seminar in English. Most time, I do seminar in Korean. So even my English is not excellent. I ask your understanding. The boarding school is not quite so familiar to all the people, particularly to maybe Koreans, and most of the Koreans don't know about boarding school, and they think it's not a school, they apply because, the tuition is too high, and also the China is same, I think. But recent 3-4 years, when I visit the boarding school, I found that there is a remarkable change. And now a lot of Chinese is applying from mainland and from Hong Kong and from Taiwan. And a lot of the excellent students from mainland, from China, they apply to top schools in New England. Today, we just overlook what is boarding school, and why we have to send our kids to boarding school, and how we can send our boarding school, without any economic problems, financial problems. Okay, we see the historical overview of boarding school. The boarding school was established because of, in the early age, colonial age in America, a lot of people, they sail across the ocean from England and the Europe countries. And because they came here most of them came here for religion reason, because they cannot, practice their own religion in England. So they came here to the United States. So when they came here in the United States, they need some people, for example, mostly the clergymen, pastors. So that's the reason why they start to make a boarding school in New England area. As you see the screen, the first founding boarding school is Governor Dermer's Academy in Massachusetts. It's 1763. Now this school is changed the name, Governor's School. And 1778, the Phillips Academy Andover was built, and the next Phillips Exeter Academy in New Hampshire is 1781. And the 1791 is the Deerfield Academy in Massachusetts, and the Milton Academy 1798. And first, all those schools in the beginning is a single sex, only boys school. And then later they changed to co-eds. And the girls' boarding school is, the first one is, founding school is Emma Willard School in New York. And the Miss Porter's School, it was established 1843. And then the significant growth in independent boarding school is after Civil War. You know, as you see, the first boarding school, those Phillips Andover and Exeter and Deerfield and the Milton Academy, now we belong to top 10 school. Okay, there are 3 types of boarding schools. Most of boarding schools is now college prep, preparatory boarding school. There is all boys and all girls boarding school, and the military school, and the professional arts school, and the religious boarding schools. And there are also junior boarding schools. Among them, 5 or 6 junior boarding schools is known to everybody. And the therapeutic boarding school. You know, some kids, a lot of people, they think when they think about boarding school, maybe some physically or mentally problem has a problem. Such a kid go to boarding school, but that boarding school is those therapeutic boarding schools. It's very special schools. But now we say the boarding school is a college prep school. Okay, next we see 10 facts about boarding schools. First, there are over 300 boarding schools in the United States. Exactly around 330 boarding schools in the United States. And some schools are purely residential. There are a couple of schools purely 100% residential, is St. Paul's School and St. Andrew, like that. Most of the schools are a combination of boarding school and day schools. All schools choose their own curriculum. You know, one of Mary strong point of boarding school is they make their own curriculums, not like a public school or not like any other schools. And number 4, most schools are staffed with well-qualified teachers. This is one of very strong point, merits of a boarding school. According to data, around more than 70% of teachers, faculty in boarding school has a master's degree or a PhD. And they have a passion for teaching and they love the kids. And a lot of teachers they stay in the campus. 5, most schools offer tuition discount for siblings. This is most of schools, when their brothers and sisters or fathers or grandfathers, the siblings, is a legacy we call. They give a discount. And most schools have extensive athletic facilities. If you have a chance to drop by, visit the boarding school, you'll find immediately their athletic facility is fantastic. In some school, it's much better than the college. You cannot find such a good facility in public schools. And 7, boarding school offer family atmosphere. It's very kindly. Usually, when students go to the boarding school, their advisor is assigned. And the advisor usually take care of 5 to 6, 7 kids during 4 years. And they invite them to their house and they have dinner, and they, in dormitory, they get along just like brothers and sisters. So it is just like a family. Boarding school offers 24/7 supervision. All dormitory, there is a dorm parents. So dorm parents, they supervise all your kids 24 hours in 7 days. Boarding school offers sports, academic, and extracurriculars in one convenient package. This is another merit compared to the public school. Those sports and academics and extracurriculars is one that everything is, they can enjoy those good facilities and good program in campus. But in public school case, you have to give a right to your kids for the SAT class or for art or music. And number 10, American boarding school welcome international students. In the beginning stage, most of boarding school students is from a local area, not from other states and not from other countries. But when it become more globalization, boarding school has to open their doors to all those doors to the international students and the students from other states also. So one of the good merit of boarding school is a diversity. Usually the students from 20 or 30 states in the States and to 20 or 30 countries in the world. Next we see 10 top reasons to go to boarding school. Why we send our kids to boarding school? The first, you will get great teachers who love to teach. At boarding school, most teachers, they are also the sport coach or, it's dorm parents. Not only they teach his own subject to the kids, they teach sports also. So they love their kids is one of a very good point, and is one of the good merit also. And next, you will have great sports and sports facilities. I mentioned this before. Most school has an Olympic-sized swimming pool, and they have a 9-hole golf course or 18-hole golf course, and the football and the soccer and the tennis court. The sports facilities really, maybe you're surprised how the high school has this kind of facilities. You get to live away from home, as I explained before. You will be stretched by amount of academic work you have to do. And you will be surrounded by classmates who want to go to college. Most boarding school is a college prep school. So all their curriculum is prepared for college admission, entrance. So if you see the curriculum in boarding school, you don't have to worry about the college, because they provide more than 300 courses, and they have a lot of AP course and IB, So compared with the public school, you don't have to worry about the academic the course. And the library, media center are well stocked. Also, the library, they have 200,000 volume of the books in the library, and their library building is really gorgeous. So if you have a chance to go to the library, maybe you'll be surprised. You will learn to be responsible for yourself. If your son, your kids go to the boarding school, they have to manage their own time. So time management is another good fact to send for your kids to learn, how to control his own time more efficiently. And the classes are small. Usually public school there are 30 or 40, even more students in one class. But in boarding school, there are only from 10 to 15 students in a class. And it's cool to be smart. You see those pictures. This is, I take pictures from Deerfield Academy. There's the music, orchestra, ensemble, and dance, and the football, and their swimming pool. And the winter they enjoy skiing, and painting, drawing, and then dance, and the theater, the play, and cross country, tennis, and lacrosse. So as long as those extracurricular concerned, maybe your kids can enjoy everything, in the boarding school. There are boarding school myths. Myth 1. You must be very wealthy to go to boarding school. It's wrong. Maybe long ago, a lot of rich people can send their kids to boarding school because of a tuition. But now, it's a myth. It's changed. Even though your income is low, you have financial problem, you can send the boarding school without paying any penny. Myth 2, diversity is rare at boarding school. Now they accept a lot of international students from 30 to 40 countries. So diversity is one of the merit of boarding school. Myth 3, kids don't have fun at boarding school. One of my parents, they want to send his kids to some school near here, just like Lawrenceville or Blair or some other petty, but they expect their kids will come visit during the weekend. But later the parents find out they did not, because the weekend program is very good, it's fantastic, and they don't have any reason to go to their house to visit the parents. Boarding school is for kids who are having trouble at home while school. It's totally wrong, And myth 5, it will be hard to keep in touch with my family. Now, during the break, the dorm is closed, so they should go back to their home and stay there. Why families choose a boarding school? Okay, this is I take it from the from the book. They asked 200 families why families choose a boarding school. There's a reason. First, a desire for close friendly and caring community of students. And next, exposure to a wide variety of students, see, because of diversity. Ready availability of teachers and a small class size. Because most of the students stay in the campus. So if they have any question, about what their schoolwork, they can contact immediately the teacher. And because of small class, they cannot hide during the class because it's small, size is very small, so teacher can take care of each of the students, always. Caliber of his teachers and passion for teaching. Really, the teacher in boarding school, they love kids. They have Ivy League, a master's degree or a PhD, but they serve as a teacher because they have passion. Maybe they can get more salary, more money if they go to another company, a private company, but they insist the teacher because they love the teacher and they like to get along with the teachers. Depth and the breadth of academic curriculum available. This is, as I told you, most schools, there is more than 300 courses and a lot of AP courses. So as long as the academic is concerned, I think public school or other private school cannot be at the boarding school. The structured academic programs and the high level of academics, expectation and the requirements for graduation. For example, the Phillips Exeter, their endowment is now around 100 million US dollars. Because all those are from donation from the alumni, the graduates, and the families like that. Outstanding classroom, art, and athletic facilities. And extra attention to students with specific learning needs. If some kids is behind, each school has their own the program. First, they have a peer tutoring system. If he is behind in the schoolwork, they arrange senior among the students. They are in the senior to helping the juniors. And the further to that, they can ask the teacher anytime because their email system is very good. A wide choice of an athletic program and leadership opportunities. You see, as I explained before, variety of offerings in performing and visual art, a selective student body that shares common academic goals. And the preparation and the counseling for college admission. Compared with the public school, the boarding school college admission is very good. They are experienced teachers, 2 or 3, 4 teachers, working as for the counseling of the kids. Opportunity to develop independence and self-reliance. Lack of local alternatives to achieve any or all of these objects. And next, an interest in all boys and all girls school. Some parents, they want to send their kids to the boys school or only the girls school, they choose the boarding school. Choice of the best boarding schools. Most of the contents is, I take it from the boardingschoolreview.com. There is some overlap, the contents. So this is a kind of emphasis of why the boarding school is good for your kids. First, the great teachers, I mentioned already, and extensive academics, and solid finances, super facilities, strong sense of community, impressive result. This is top 20 boarding schools. There should be a change, and it depends on, you know, what kind of categories more emphasized. I think those boarding school list is not perfect. This kind of data, we cannot say this is the final, because every year it can be changed, and from the point of view and from the category, you know, those ranks can be changed. I selected those 20 schools. As you see, most of the schools is in New England area. There are 3 or 4 schools in California and West area, but most of best top boarding schools is in Massachusetts and New Hampshire and Connecticut like that. Okay, this data will help you why you have to choose a boarding school. You know, the percent of students who report to school is academically challenged. The graduate boarding school says 91% said that. You know, private school is 70%, public school is only 50%. Hours spent per week on homework. See, how many hours your kids spend for homework? At boarding school, 17 hours. Private school, only 9 hours. Public school, only 8 hours. And the percent of students who report being around motivated peers. In a boarding school, most of the applicants, boarding school students, they came to boarding school because to prepare for college. So they are motivated. So 75% said they are motivated peers, and private day school 71%, public only 49%. Percent of students who say their school provides opportunity for leadership. Boarding school is 77, private day school 60%, and the public school 52% only. Percent of a graduate who reported being very well prepared for college. Maybe this is one of your best concern. The boarding school is 87%, and the private day 71%, public 39%. Percent of a graduate who achieve positions in top management by mid-career. Boarding 44%, public 33%, private 47%. Okay, next we see 5 steps for choosing boarding schools. Okay, first, you should identify schools. There are 330 schools in the States. You know, if you don't have a chance to visit each school, you cannot identify which school is good for my kids. So, the first step is you can go to website of each school, and you can ask your neighbor, your friends, and first you can choose 10 or 20 schools, you know, to identify. And after you make those lists, you narrow your list to 5 to 6 schools. And then, this is most important. You know, based on my experience, seeing is believing. There's an old saying. If you don't have a chance to visit boarding school, it's very hard to explain to you. Even though you go to a website and you saw catalogs, but you cannot feel. But once you have a chance to visit boarding school, you realize that, oh, this is the reason why a lot of parents want to send their kids to boarding school. This is my personal opinion. I'm a Korean. So I think to send your kids to boarding school is one of the greatest gifts, for his life. Because if any kids who have a chance to go to boarding school, is a great blessing for him, for his future. Because boarding school, I talk to my older Korean parents. Even though you want to keep your kids here, but what you can do? Only you can do is you give a ride to SAT institutions, or go to the art institution, or tutoring. That is the only thing you can do, because you don't know the United States, the educational system well. So you are not like other, the Americans. I think the Chinese are saying, of course, you want to keep your kids. They are only 7th, 8th grade. They are too young. But if you decide to send your kids to boarding school, maybe it will be in the future for him is the best of luck. After he graduates boarding school, maybe he'll have his own future. He'll be a great man, leader in this country. The academic admission process is, I want you to make some timetable, like a college. Next, what are the admission committee looking for in a candidate? They are looking for kids with a passion, for a challenge. I can say in one sentence. They are looking for students who has a passion for, to challenge in academics and extracurriculars. How the admission committee make a decision? Usually 2-3 teachers, faculty made a decision first. The first person is the person who interview your kids. That teacher is very important person for your kids to be accepted or not. And the campus visit and interviews, the oral application, recommendation essay, and the parent statement. At the boarding school, the application process is almost 100% similar to college. So when you experience those application process, you don't have any problem when you send your kids to college. Also, what about the standardized application forms? Before, each school has their own application forms, but now it's changed. There are too many applicants. The competition is high. For example, top 10 school, the acceptance rate is around 10%, 10 to 12%. Even some parents says it's harder than the Ivy League to go to top boarding schools now. A lot of kids now applying to boarding school. So there are two the standardized the application common forms. One is Gateway, another is the SAO. So the application, the form is more simple, became more simple than before. And the standardized testing requirements, it's just like a SAT for college. For the boarding school, you need score for SSAT or ISEE. For 9th, 10th grade, they should submit PSAT, SAT, SCT, and the international students who did not finish in the state less than 4 years, they need TOEFL scores. In top schools, for example, Phillips, Andover, Exeter, they ask IBT TOEFL 110. Yeah. And next is supplementary materials. Okay, the paying for boarding school, okay, you should, just like the FAFSA in college, in boarding school there is a PFS, a Parents Financial Statement. When you ask for financial aid is a grant, not loan. If you got the financial aid, you don't have to pay back, it's a grant. But most top schools, they give those financial aid is need-based, not merit-based. Most of top schools, they don't have merit scholarship, merit. Even your score is high, they don't give you money. But you are accepted, but your parents has some financial problems. His income is low. Then school will give whole money to you because they are rich. And the scholarship, tuition loans, and recently they have payment plans. The school give a loan, sometimes. Those PFS is, the contents, SS number, W-2 forms, bank statement. First important thing is you should observe the deadlines. Usually the deadline is December 31st. Okay, we're helping you identify appropriate schools and plan your admission calendar, schedule visit and interview, review application and essay, and the practice interview, helping you submit PFS for financial aid. We run the SSAT and the TOEFL class also, and the debate class. Okay, 5 things you didn't know about the financial aid is even though your income is $200,000 a year, you can get the financial aid, but amount is very low, maybe $10,000, $5,000. But it's a sliding, even you have a lot of income, but you have a lot of expenses. You have 4 kids, 3 kids. Then the school give you the financial aid. So they review those PFS and they check the family contributions. Okay, thank you very much. This is my first time, so I was very embarrassed, to do seminar in English. It's very hard for me. But if I have a chance to next time, maybe I prepare more deeply, more specific seminar I can provide to you. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Does anyone have a question? We have time for one question.
Anybody have a question? No? Not really.
Thank you.
I have one. Okay. How difficult, for example, getting your Lawrence?
Oh, well, yeah, okay, personally, most of my clients is Korean. I don't recommend the Lawrence field because too much competition. Because only, geological reason, maybe 9 out of 10 Korean parents, they want to apply for Lawrence field, regardless of his score, regardless of his, the preparation. I can understand. The best boarding school for your kids is the school your kids like. It's very important. There are hundreds of boarding schools, but there are boarding schools good for your kids. It's the best school for your kids. There is only a slight difference. Top 10 school, top 20 school, not big difference. Only, you know, they divided the class because of how many kids they sent to Ivy League. Phillips Exeter, they send 35%. But other top 10, 20 schools, they 18, 20% like that. Not big difference. Even though there are kids who cannot go to Boston University, BU, after graduation at Phillips Exeter. You should keep in mind that one. Yeah.
So many boarding school have so many Chinese Korean students. How do you think about it? Many really like this.
Oh, but one thing is, because there's a lot of applicants, there are a lot of students apply, but each school has their own quota. You know, each grade, for example, they accept only 3 Chinese. Regardless from mainland, from Hong Kong, from United States. For example, they don't accept more than 3 kids. Each school has their own policy.
Percentage.
Yeah, percentage, right. So the more applicants, the more the competition. Oh, yes.
The freshman student can be in any grade, isn't it?
Pardon?
The freshman student
Yeah.
can be in any grade, right? The first year of the student.
What do you mean? The 6th, 7th grade can apply for 9th grade, you mean?
I mean, the first year in the boarding school can be in, I mean, for example, can we into in the 10th grade, something like that? Not 9th.
Oh, yeah, right. You know, for example, you know, they recruit 9th grade. Usually they recruit 6th, 10th grade, and 3 11th grade, but 12th grade no, usually.
Okay.
Yeah.